Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Happening right now, starting at the top of the hour, a listening session being held with the Oshkosh Area District Board of Education about budget recommendations.
And those recommendations include a proposal to eliminate an estimated 70 full-time positions throughout the district. As we reported last week, the district making this announcement in an effort to reduce its budget by $6 million. Taylor Ziebel live right now outside Oshkosh North High School with a preview. Taylor?
Yeah, Chris, the listening session is just about to start right behind me in the cafeteria, where the Oshkosh School Board will be hearing what parents and teachers have to say about the recommendations. After this listening session, the board will discuss the 2026 to 2027 budget reduction recommendations. However, no action will take place tonight. Listed on their staff report about this are some major points they will discuss, including state school funding issues, the decision-making process, and staff reduction displacement process. James Warren, a fifth grade teacher for the district, is speaking out.
It's a state problem, it's a budget problem throughout the state. As I said, that the state is not funding public schools correctly. So that's something that we obviously still need to work on, and we just want to do what's best for our students and for our staff here in Oshkosh.
The listening session is expected to last about 45 minutes, with that meeting starting at 6 shortly after. Superintendent Brian Davis will speak with media after that meeting. Reporting live in Oshkosh, Taylor Ziebel, Action 2 News.